Now we're going to talk about how we can effectively communicate with our clients, and that all begins with even getting that first client. Now on Fiverr, you have to depend on your SEO skills, your title, your thumbnail in order for the clients to click on your gig, and then you can get that client. Other ways that we explored was going on social media, promoting your gigs through ads, sharing your badge and all that stuff. But what if you just simply cannot wait that long and you want to find other ways of gaining traction and finding clients? The stuff that I'm going to share with you are not 100% tailored towards Fiverr, but just towards freelancing in general. So the first thing that you need to do when you see a company, when you see their CEO, just like posting on LinkedIn, or you just come across their website, you're walking by their posters, is making a cold call. In this case, it would be a cold email. You basically see that there is a lack of something in their business, and you're going to convince them that, hey, I can fill that up for you because I have experience X, Y, and Z. So with cold calls, or better yet, cold emails, you can just straight to the point introduce what you're going to do for that client. So unlike a regular email, you're not really spending a lot of time on the formalities, on introducing yourself fully, telling them about your background that much. You're just telling them that, hey, I'm blank and I can do service C for you for this price because I saw that you have a lack for that service. So let's take a look at a few examples on the internet. So this right here, based in blank, they offer writing services. So third sentence, I already know why this person is contacting me, and they're sharing their price, the limitations, and I'd like to talk to you more about it. And the most important thing, a call to action. So that's how you want to format your emails as well. There are tons of other stuff. You can see here, they want to see if there's a need for any writers or content. It's a lot better when you specify your rate and your service. So these are the stuff that you're going to have for a cold email. It doesn't matter where you share this email. It could be a message on LinkedIn, on Instagram. This is a great way that freelancers use to get clients. Now, while you are giving all this information, and try to be very specific, don't linger anything in the email, it would be really helpful to have some links for their reference, some PDFs, some samples. If you're dealing with logos, attach some of those logos, your best logos, to that email so immediately they can see that I can get something like that for $50. So cold emails is one way. Performance-based approach is another popular way that freelancers, especially the beginner ones, use to gain the trust of the clients and basically convince them to pay them for, or at least give them a shot for the service that they're providing. So what this means is that you're going to go up to that person with a cold email or cold message, and you would be like, I'm willing to do this service for you, and only once you're satisfied will I be asking for compensation. They can see how committed you are and how much you believe in your own capabilities and services. So if you saw that no one is answering, try switching to this method. And I know not getting paid for your work can be a concern of yours right now, but you are going to be having them as work experience, and you can just use what you made for them in your Fiverr profile, and you basically have a real client to show the future ones. Now, what if you don't want to do this approach? No one answers you, but you still need to get some sort of clientele in your profile. Another approach that a lot of beginners take is the fake brief method. With this, there are a lot of generators on the internet, but essentially they create you a client's profile, and you get to not only practice your skills, but to get a fully developed project out of these fake briefs and then put that on your profile. Of course, you're not going to mention to the potential clients that they're fake, but because of how much detail goes into these briefs, it can easily convince the future clients that you are experienced, even though you didn't really have real clients. So if you just go to the internet, design brief generator, you can choose the field. So let's say you want to be an illustrator on Fiverr, generate brief. And there you go. So you have this fake client named Kai. They want a watercolor illustration of Robin Williams, want it to look realistic. And then you can do this watercolor, write down the name Kai as your client, and just fill in your portfolio like that. There's also stuff for web design. Let's try that. So the new California Fish Market, someone that can design a professional website, a new login page for our employee web portal. So gather a bunch of these, design their stuff, and put that on your Fiverr, and that can get more eyes on your profile. The next thing is social media. This is of course no secret, but a lot of times people just reach out to CEOs, founders, business owners, give them a cold message that they can do. Maybe perhaps give them a better logo, give them a better Instagram layout, either for free or for a price. On social media, you want to sound very human because there's a lot of bots emailing these people every day that, hey, I'll take this much and I'll give you this, but they can immediately tell that those are bots. So make sure that you have the right social media account when you're approaching these clients and that you have some work examples on that account. And that way, when they see your name, click on it, they can see that you have actual followers, even though they may not be that much when you first start. We have actual followers, actual posts, real people comment under them, and you can ensure them that they're not dealing with another bot. If you'd like, you can put your Fiverr link in this message or just have them reach out to you through a more traditional method off Fiverr. So now you have your first client, but how do you make sure that you're communicating with them in an efficient way and that you're not getting scammed or tricked throughout the process? So the most important thing is to keep everything on record. I've said this multiple times throughout this course, but it's really the one thing that can help you out if things go wrong. Anything regarding numbers, payments, deadlines, dates, the stuff that the client wants from you, you want to be as blunt as possible. Have them on record on an email, not on any message platforms where they can delete that message and then say that they never said that. So email is the best thing. It doesn't matter if this client is your best friend, your father's friend. There's always that chance that they want to go back on what they said, make you do extra work, and maybe not even pay you. So keep everything on record and save yourself the headache. So sometimes you get this client, it's great in the beginning, but then out of nowhere they start acting like they don't want to continue with you. They don't even like your services, and things just turn around 180 degrees. So when that happens, immediately detach yourself from that commitment because they will perhaps try to report you, and on Fiverr that's a big deal. You don't want to get on anyone's bad side. Try to be as professional as possible. If they start saying mean things or start harassing you for whatever reason, just report them immediately. Do not reply to them. Do not try to get back at them because you could get blacklisted on Fiverr. And if you're on any other platform, it's usually the same thing because customers will get their way on in these situations. So you don't want there to be trace of you saying bad things to them or you perhaps ignoring their requests. So by ending it, it's all a matter of ignoring or reporting if necessary. And just know that you're a freelancer in this situation and not just a regular person chatting with someone on the internet. Next, we're going to talk about personally identifiable informations. This is a huge concern on these platforms because people will start sharing their information such as their address, their email, their phone number, and maybe their social medias, and that should be an immediate red flag for you. When you see someone getting a bit too close to you, even if they're your favorite client, you need to report them immediately because if Fiverr or any other platform finds that out, they could cancel your account and basically you lose all business. So of course, you as a freelancer can never share any of these private informations, but if they even start sharing a little bit of that with you, know exactly when to stop and when to report them. Now let's talk about some red flags that you will probably notice when you're on these platforms. First thing is when they try to move the conversation off to another platform. They maybe give you a phone number, they give you an email, and they're like, maybe they'll pretend like they're an old person. They're like, I don't know how to use Fiverr. Can you come over here and we talk privately? That is a red flag. Anytime you move Fiverr away as the middleman, they will figure that out and they might suspend your account. So when you see that happening, tell them that I am not allowed to do that. Fiverr has very strict rules regarding that, and just decline their offer. Secondly is when they want to pay you outside of Fiverr's payment methods. Maybe they're like, give me your PayPal username or address and I'll pay you this much more. Thank you for your time and whatever. That's another red flag, even though it sounds good. As mentioned, it could get you suspended. And sometimes there are people who are trying to do just that, especially when you first start out, because you're an easier target. Next is when they refuse to tell you exactly what they want. So they're being too generic. They're like, I want a logo. You ask them what kind, they don't reply, and you ask them a bunch of times and they still say, I just want a pretty logo, even though they may not actually know what it is they're looking for. You as a freelancer want to avoid wasting your time on these type of clients, so inform them that it's really important for you to know the details of the request, and that way it would be beneficial for both sides. Next is when someone who contacts you is pretending to work for Fiverr. So they'll message you saying that, unfortunately, your account is getting suspended. You've been reported. Usually there is a link to perhaps redeem your account. That is a scam. You will never receive a message like that from the Fiverr's official team. They don't usually do that. If there is a problem with your account, you will get an email, and of course check the email address to make sure it's from Fiverr. So sometimes you may get a concerning email from Fiverr, but when you check the email address, it's like 234@gmail.com. So that's obviously a scam. Do not click on any links and just ignore or report that email. Next is when people try to showcase themselves as someone that can help you get better results. They'll come to you and say, I'm really great at SEO. Let's work together. I can make your account shine or something. That's another red flag. If you really want someone to help you with a service like that, which takes a lot of time, you want to pay them. So go on Fiverr as a buyer, find that person who offers SEO services, and conduct your business that way. Don't rely on these people that, again, give you links or are pretending to be your friend. Those are usually scams and you should report them immediately. So those were some ways of communicating with clients. Bear in mind these red flags and all the concerning stuff that we talked about. Keep your account safe, keep yourself safe, report anything that is suspicious, and that way you will have an easier experience finding clients and dealing with them in the future.